Today with us we have Dr. Srinivas Gumparthi, who is a professor of finance at SSN School of Management, and he has an experience of more than 27 years in teaching, training, and in research. And he also has a corporate experience of more than 7 years. He has been in SSN institution since 2000 and is currently is a professor at SSN School of Management. Now, I would like to ask a few questions to Srinivas sir regarding his department. So, sir, being the faculty of finance, I would like to know what are your roles and responsibilities towards the students studying in School of Management, sir?
Yeah. First, then outside, I wanted to thank that College Dunia for giving me this opportunity. Yeah. My role in this college, actually in 2008 when I joined, I'm the second person who joined this college. That means almost like a founding member of this institute, this School of Management. Okay, before me, there was a Professor Vijay Shankar. He was a director, and he was a director for 7 years here, and then he left. After that, I'm the person continuing for the last 21 years. Okay, my role in SSN, first thing is that academics, there we teach, okay, students, postgraduate students. And additional responsibilities are like research we have to do, we have to publish papers. And consultancy, yes, we have to do consultancy. And each one of us that we have got some projects to come. Then earlier we have completed, and we have some projects also in our hand to complete. And then apart from that, we also train industry professionals, that is executive development programs.
Yes, sir.
So it is a complete experience for any faculty member who wish to work in a good institution, and this institution is providing all these opportunities for faculty members. Okay, and the opportunities are plenty for faculty members, and we have a freedom to select the project, do the research, or get the contracts from the industry to train executives. But our main aim is training students and then nurturing students for industry.
Yes.
This is our main aim. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, in this process, there is a lot of interaction going on between the students and the faculty members. So, like, how do you, from your side, how do you tend to establish a healthy relationship between the students and the faculties so that they are working in coordinates with each other, sir?
Yeah, as you are aware of that, there are contact hours. These are called as lecture hours. And normally for each course, there will be about 45. If it is a 3-credit course, or sometimes it will be 60 hours for a 4-credit course. These are the lecture hours where we go to the lecture halls, and then we'll take sessions. Apart from that, students are allowed to meet any faculty at any time. And students has gotten access to the faculty and faculty resources also. For example, my lecture notes, case studies that normally I handle in the classroom, solutions for that. And also we use students for our research purposes, right?
Yes, sir.
And apart from that, there is a mentoring session. During these mentoring sessions, students can come, they can express, they can whatever that they want, they can talk to us, and we will find whatever that is required for the student to perform. All the resources, we will make it available for the student to perform. So during this mentoring session, they express what they want, how they want, what specialization they are going to take, okay, what type of career that they want after this MBA. At that time, we will guide them. We'll also provide them support them with the resources. It is not just giving an advice or sending the students. We also make sure that we provide resources for them for preparing themselves for the industry. And Then the last and final, the professors will be available at any given point of time during this office hours and also non-office hours. That means we'll take calls, we'll encourage them, we'll also guide them, especially during this COVID period. The number of Zoom meetings, online meetings that we have conducted whenever they want, okay, we are available for them. And they are doing extremely well, especially during that internship. Our interaction has increased many folds. It's a nice thing. Students are allowed. Students have got a free time. Students also interact in the classroom. Students also help their faculty member in the research. That means conducting surveys and other things. And student can come back and seek the advices for his career. So if you look at that, there are several things which are happening. So student engagement, our student can approach to the faculty. There are equal opportunities for faculty as well as for the student.
Yes. Yes, sir, exactly. Sir, connecting to that only, I wanted to ask, like, similar to the case materials that you are giving. Apart from that, sir, what other practices are done in the college to gain, like, help the students gain necessary skill for the real world which is out there? And also adding to that, sir, like, how do you strategize your curriculum in such a way that the student is ready for the industry going forward? Because after MBA, you'll be going directly to the companies and working there as a manager. So how do you, what are the practices that are done by the college department, and also, like, how the curriculum is strategized to help the students in that way?
Yeah, with few examples, I can give the answer for this.
Sure, sir.
The first thing is that, as I told you, students are encouraged to participate in research activities, conducting surveys, collecting information. Okay, that is the field experience we provide for students. And there are several research papers we published as a faculty. Faculty name will be the first name. You can see second and third names. The students' names will be there. So we are encouraging students. Okay, and we are also giving recognition to the students. That's one thing, that the field experience that they will get. The second thing is that simulated games, that there are, the brand games are there. Each faculty has designed his or her course based on some activities. So it is activity driven learning process. Purely, there are so many activities, they go through all those activities, they experience themselves. Okay, and then finally they submit the reports also. It is not only just experiencing. Ultimately, finally, they have to submit back to the faculty member, and that becomes a part of that evaluation process. The third thing is that you are talking about our curriculum. Now, SSN School of Management is an autonomous institution under Anna University. So we have a liberty to design our own curriculum. Already the second revision also happened. From the first one, now we identified a lot of gaps, and those gaps we have completed. Okay, and now we are offering more electives which are industry relevant, and you got a lot of potential for employment, like analytics, data science. Okay, and some of the courses, some of the electives which are functional electives, they are also a part of this, maybe a unit or more than one unit. We have brought in this data analytics. So that means it is not a pure theory that they are going to learn. They apply that theory. Okay, this is also possible. The new curriculum, these are the things that we have, changes that we have made, so that for a student now, it is the most updated curriculum, and it will be useful for student to hone his skills. And one more thing, we always believe in that interactions are very important with the faculty, with the external adjunct faculty members. So electives, more than 50% of the electives are handled by industry experts.
That is great, sir.
And the full course, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 guest lectures. I'm talking that guest lectures, other things are part. Okay, that is the evening, because this is a residential program. Their students, we arrange a lot of evening engagement programs like guest lectures and other things. Apart from that, the courses are handled by the industry expert. Okay, this time if you take this academic year 21-22, we attracted experts at a level of CFO, COO. These are the people, they are going to share their knowledge with our students. And these are the people, they are from the reputed institutes. Okay. And the last one, consultancy, where we also engage students. Okay. And in the consultancy, 1 or 2 students will be attached to that professor or a faculty member. And that student will be doing a lot of groundwork, lot of analysis work, because design and other things will be done by the faculty member. All these support services where the interaction of the young brains are required, we invite them, we ask them to give their views also. It is not only that professor gives some idea, it goes on in that direction. But here the students also invited to give their opinion on certain things. Okay, if it is really worth taking up, going forward, we consider those things. So this is the way that we progress, and every aspect where we keep short-term benefits, long-term benefits, and also we have certain targets. Okay, like not only the pass percentage and other things, like research papers, number of research papers, number of consultancies, that work that we are going to do, the quantum of money in terms of consultancy amount. So there are some targets are there. When targets are there, all the stakeholders are involved. All the stakeholders also get benefit out of this, right?
Yes, I understood. It's a great knowing that, sir. Sir, and like as we know that the competition is so high outside in the real world, so we wanted to know a little more about the placements in the college, and like if a student wants to do research, so how does your department or the college helps the students for research as well as in their placements for?
Okay, it's a good question. The research, okay, here the student will get an experience, field experience. Okay, it is for the student to decide. Almost, okay, you'll find very negligible number of students, they go for a research further. But here the research experience is more industry related research. Okay, it is like experience for them. In fact, after completing that research project, we can certify them by giving that an experience certificate. Okay, that will be useful for them. The next one, the second question is placement record. Okay, the quality of the placements are increased, number of companies visiting. There is a two-fold increase, and the highest pay is increased, medium salary also increased. Okay, so the placement in SSN is not a problem according to me. But right now, if you ask me, the numbers are not there with me, but still I can tell you the highest salary from the last year to this year is increased by almost 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs. So every year we are seeing that jump, a minimum of 1 lakh jump. Okay, so and the placements also, it is 90% and above. The eligible candidates, eligible students, the placement record is 90% and above students. Okay, they are placed, and they are placed in good industry. I'm talking about the median salary. I'm not talking about the lowest salary or the people average placements. I'm talking about the number of people getting a respectable, okay, on par with the industry compensation package. That type of students are plenty. You can in that group, I can say about 45 to 55% of the students, they fall in that medium class. That's what I can share with you, but I don't have the numbers right now.
Yes, sir. Sir, and one last question, sir. As a faculty or as a person of teaching and education, I would like to give your showcase your insights that you have gathered from this years. What advice would you like to give to the students for a career after MBA or a career after management in any stream or any course? So, like after coming to the college and even before you entered the education industry, what was your vision for the students and how would you guide them? Like in a brief, what is your advice to those students?
Very, very simple. Okay. Don't teach them, just nurture them. Because whatever that you do in the classroom, okay, maximum 5 to 20% only they can grasp. But give them hands-on experience, activity-based learning. Okay? Then they will learn much better. And ensure that the self-learning is very important and continuous learning is much more important for their future and career. And don't restrict them to any one single direction, like only making them finance guys, or career for finance, or marketing, or advertising, or whatever it may be. There should be what you call a comprehensive learning, and a student should be able to identify what he wants to do next. You keep telling them, and then find the sources, find the resources for it. Let this student identify these things, and definitely when they go to the industry also with the same temperament, because he is nurtured this way, and he will find his way, and then he will also contribute to the industry and to the society. Or if you send only a professional with some knowledge, he will go and work there, right? And he may work in that narrow one single function, or maybe that if it is a large corporate, he may take up 1 or 2 activities in that big large organization in that particular department. He will content with that. Don't train them like that. Give them how you can identify what is that next, what they have to do. This is called as a self-learning process, and they need to continue this in the future also. That's very, very important. So, self-learning is mantra for sustaining in the market.
Understood, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.